Hi, my name is Greg Lowry, and I'm the data manager of the Opportunity Project. This is a title tutorial video on how to enroll and drop students from group programs at your site. To start, once you've logged into Title, click the site at which you're going to enroll students. Then click the group program where we need to enroll them. On the general info page, you'll see that there is a schedule for this program. A schedule must be present in order to enroll students, otherwise you'll see an error that will not allow you to enroll them until their scheduled days. Since we do have a schedule, we'll click the Enrollment tab at the top of the screen. There's currently no person enrolled here, so I'll click the Enroll button at the top. And now I can begin searching for students. I can choose to either do so by their name, ID, grade level, or by showing all students enrolled at the school. This is rarely the right case, but I'm going to use this simply because I have a list of fake students. Once you search by your preferred criteria, whether that be first and last name, ID, grade level, or some combination thereof, you're going to check the names of the students that you do want to enroll. I'll just be choosing a few to use as examples, and then I'll be clicking Enroll. At this point, every student that you've checked, whether it be one or many, will be in a list with their potential enrollment date. This is defaulted to the first date of the club so that they're enrolled for every day the club happens. However, you might be doing this after the club has already started with some new members. That's totally fine. You're going to change the date on which they are being enrolled to the actual first day they come to club. Let's pretend that Kaylin doesn't come into the club until Wednesday, and we'll set her enrollment date and click Proceed. Everyone who is currently in a program that doesn't have any conflicts will be enrolled successfully. Now we'll go to the enrollment list, and we'll see that we have all of those students enrolled. If I want to click a student because I need to drop them, like Abraham, for example, I can click their name and choose the date on which they drop. Dropping a participant means that they did come to the club at some point, but now they've chosen not to come, and you can take them off of the attendance list because you know they're not going to come in the future. In this case, I'll choose the first day that they are not attending club. Let's say that they came on Wednesday and aren't coming back as of Thursday. And if I know, I'll put the reason. The reason is nice because there's a report that will summarize this that will let us see if there are trends of a reason that students might drop a particular club or drop particular days of club in order to go to another one. For example, let's say that a bunch of students drop your club because they all went to soccer club and it was scheduled on the same day. We can adjust the schedule so they can engage in both of your clubs. Whether you know the reason or not, once you filled this out, you'll click drop, and it will record that from their start to drop date and the reason. At any point, you can click edit if you need to edit their start or drop dates because you made a mistake. And if Abraham decides to come back later on in the semester, you can always click the enroll date and enroll him again, and it will start a new set of records for him. If I click back to my enrollment list, you'll notice that Abraham has dropped to the bottom of my list and is marked as dropped for his status, including the end date. If I wanted to get Abraham back and enroll him again, I would come to this list and click his name. He won't show up on our typical enrollment list, unfortunately. Let's say that Anaya here was actually not meant to be enrolled at all. That was just a mistake on my part. She either never came to the club or I clicked the wrong name. In that case, I'm going to use the unenroll. This will completely remove the participant as well as any attendance records. So if there are records here, please do not delete them. Since I see that there are no records to be deleted, I can click confirm, and you'll see that Anaya is no longer anywhere to be seen on our list. I would have to go back and re-enroll her. If and when I'm ready to enroll more students, I come to my enrollment page and click enroll again, and I can do this process all over again. Now I'm going to enroll a student here where you'll see there's a conflict. Because Delbert Vincent is already enrolled in another club, in this case example club, that has meeting days that conflict with this club, it's giving me a message. This means that I'm trying to enroll this student who is already enrolled in this club, and there are 6 days where that club, example club, overrules or conflicts with the club that I am trying to enroll him in. If I want to say, that's okay, I'd like to enroll Delbert anyway because he is going to come to my club, I have to check his name. Otherwise, it won't enroll him because it knows that he's trying to come to two things that are happening concurrently. If I check, it will proceed and enroll him in mine anyway. And you'll see he has now been successfully enrolled. If a student is enrolled in two clubs that happen concurrently, of course, they can only be going to one, so this may cause some problems with automated attendance collection processes, so please note that. But if a student is enrolled in more than one club that happens concurrently, it is important to just have a conversation to make sure that they're engaging in the clubs that make most sense for them or the programs that make most sense for them, and have a conversation about the schedule at your site to make sure that it is accessible as possible for students to come to as much as possible. That being said, there are still going to be cases where we know students might flip-flop between clubs. We just avoid it the best that we can. At this point, you've successfully enrolled, dropped, or even if necessary, unenrolled and re-enrolled students. This has been the conclusion of this tutorial. On the next tutorial, I'll show you how to take attendance for all of the students that are enrolled in the club. Thank you for watching.